This challenging season for the Lakers became even more challenging the other night during that win against the Utah Jazz because Anthony Davis going down with a brutal ankle injury, not going to be reevaluated until another month. So with that, I ask you this. Without AD, one of the best and most gifted players in the NBA, who on the Lakers needs to step up the most? You let me know in the comments section, and let's start today's show. Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. Hope all of Laker Nation gearing up to have a fantastic weekend. NBA All-Star Weekend is here. We'll get to see the King, LeBron James, partaking in yet another All-Star game on Sunday in Cleveland. We start off today's show with getting into the latest on Anthony Davis. We'll catch you up really quickly. We touched on his injury yesterday on the Lakers Report. Diagnosed with a mid-foot sprain, which he suffered against the Utah Jazz. Really unfortunate for him and this team. This is a team that lacks depth, lacks star power. AD was starting to play well, had 15 points in that opening quarter against the Utah Jazz, and because of that injury, going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. And considering the severity of it, how it looked, he's going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks, which probably means he could be out for the next month, maybe even 2 months. That's how these injuries work in today's NBA. Stats since returning from his previous injury, AD was starting to get it going. We know he's somewhat injury prone, which is really unfortunate for him. 10 games played since that return. He was putting up nearly 23 points per game, basically a walking double-double night in, night out. 3 blocks per game as he was playing an extraordinarily high level of defense, shooting around 59% from the floor. That wasn't really translating to the three-point game because this year he's hovering around 18% from beyond the arc. But AD, especially in that first quarter against Utah, the reigning defensive player of the year, and Rudy Gobert was showing flashes of him being the unicorn that AD has proven to be throughout his really successful NBA career. This sucks for him. This sucks for Los Angeles because Anthony Davis can't escape the injury bug. And a lot of this comes down to bad luck. Some of it in the past has maybe come down to him not being in the peakest form of shape. But really, when you suffer this many injuries, it just comes down to being unlucky. He goes up for that ball. He comes down in an awkward way, steps on a foot, turns his ankle, and you're like, man, right when the Lakers look to be picking up some momentum, right when Anthony Davis is starting to hit his stride, he gets injured once more. So do you trust AD to stay healthy down the stretch? And who knows when he joins the Lakers down the stretch? But type Y for yes, type N for no. You let me know in the comment section and be a part of the show. Next up, how can the Lakers replace Anthony Davis? Right now at this point of the season, the options are very limited. The depth is certainly thin. The top NBA buyout bigs. None of these names are going to move the needle like Anthony Davis, and they don't give you what AD does because he really is a high-level two-way threat who has an inside-outside component to his game, and he's a wonderful athlete. These guys, they don't match up. It's not even close. Robin Lopez, Juan Hernan-Gomez. We'll see if Paul Millsap gets bought out by Philadelphia, although he's gotten some run the last 2 games. Derek Favors a pretty solid player. DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, these options don't give you anything close to Anthony Davis, but this is the reality that the Lakers are in. This is a predicament that they're having to face. Enes Kanter Freedom, Gorgui Dieng, Moses Brown. I like him as an athlete because he gives you energy, is a very good rebounder and shot blocker, but offensively, he ain't shooting the three. He ain't putting the ball on the deck. And then Drew Eubanks, another option with the San Antonio Spurs after he got moved on NBA trade deadline day. So we'll get into who specifically needs to step up. Those are external options. We'll take a look at some internal options coming up here in just a few moments. But first, make sure you subscribe to the Lakers Report by Chat Sports if you haven't already done so. And if you haven't subscribed, you ain't alive. The Lakers Report, your one-stop shop for all of the latest news, rumors, trade rumors, draft coverage, free agency coverage. We do it all year round. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below or in a separate browser. Let this video continue to roll. Go to youtube.com/LakersTV. We're just simply built different here at Chat Sports, and so too are our subscribers, and we do a better job than any channel, in my humble opinion, of engaging with the audience. This week we said every single video we're giving a shout out to the loyal homies. Let's do it again. JC, Jose, Hairdoon, Paula, Elber, all subscribe to the Lakers Report. Thank you so much for turning on those notifications as well and supporting everything we do. As for who needs to step up internally within this Lakers roster and organization, a little bit of a tease there, without Anthony Davis. We start off with a very obvious name in LeBron James. Like we wanted to ask him to do much more. I mean, he's been terrific this year. MVP candidate, one of the leading scorers in the NBA. He has shouldered the load. What he did in that second half, especially in that fourth quarter, and that comeback bid against the Jazz was marvelous. LBJ, 37 years old, continues to defy Father Time, continues to defy logic, and defy science. Russell Westbrook. I have to give him credit. I've been critical of him because he deserves people to be critical of him with the way that he's played for the majority of this year. Last couple of games, though, he's taken his foot off the gas pedal. He's been a little bit more methodical. He's played the game in a much more smarter fashion, especially late, and he's done well. Has to continue to do that. And maybe without AD, he's going to bump up his aggressiveness just a little bit. He might have to without the services of Anthony Davis. Malik Monk, with Russell Westbrook struggling, he really became the third component to this Lakers roster outside of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and now he continues to be thrust into that role. I don't think people give him enough credit for how he can kind of get his shot off the bounce. Everybody looks at Malik Monk as strictly a three-point shooter, but he can play make a little bit, and I like to see him do more of that and advance in that role without Anthony Davis on the floor. Lastly, Frank Vogel. Look, Frank, I know you've had to deal with a lot outside of that NBA bubble season, which was really magical for Los Angeles and the City of Angels. Last year, so many injuries. To LeBron, to AD. Then AD gets bumped up in that first-round series against Phoenix. And this year, an old roster that I think the front office put together and Vogel didn't really have much to do with. And now more injuries to LeBron and now Anthony Davis. But hey, you're the head coach of Los Angeles. You're going to be held accountable. Vogel, got to find a way to make it work, especially in this playoff hunt. Those are four people, three players, one coach who need to step up in Anthony Davis's absence. Who do you think needs to step up the most? Give me a name or names in the comment section. That will be the pinned comment on today's video. Here on the Lakers Report, we're always giving you fresh, swaggy deals with some really nice Lakers merchandise. How about this deal? On this Lakers shirt, available right now for just $22, only if you use that link down below. Thanks to our friends at Fanatics. It's chatsports.com/LakersT. This deal only available today, and really, it's a killer deal. Look, I'm rocking all black. You can rock all black too with this fresh Lakers shirt. Get it now by plugging in that link down below. I'll put it in the comment section as well as the description of this video. So we move ahead with today's show. And look, Anthony Davis is special. Anthony Davis is a unicorn. Anthony Davis, when right, when healthy, when playing well, is a bona fide top 5 player in the NBA. Now, I've said this a couple of times here on the Lakers Report, but we often have new visitors, so I'll say it again. LeBron James, he is at the tail end of his prime. He's 37 years old. Injuries for him have happened more consistently. The Lakers need to find a way to maximize his ability to play at this level. And Anthony Davis, in my opinion, has not been available enough to the King to chase championships consistently. So, could an Anthony Davis-Bradley Beal trade be an option after this year? While Anthony Davis's value is still high, and you think, okay, Bradley Beal out for the rest of this year, could he look to go elsewhere and get a change of scenery because it's simply not working out in the nation's capital? This deal works as a player-for-player swap because the contracts are almost identical because both Bradley Beal and Anthony Davis signed those max contract extensions. Now, Bradley Beal on the hook for $36.42 million has a player option for next year, where he can then become a free agent. Anthony Davis, on the other hand, set to make a base salary of $37+ million, upwards almost of $38 next year. So if you go player for player swap, that deal would work out in terms of needing to match the contracts here. Now, according to offseason reports, the Lakers prioritized Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and that type of trade before pivoting to Russell Westbrook. So now with Anthony Davis continuing to get hurt, could they look to bring in Bradley Beal, trade away Anthony Davis, and give LeBron James a more consistent co-star and more consistent Robin to his Batman? Bradley Beal this year, before he went down with that injury, had a little bit of a drop-off. I don't think there's a huge reason to be concerned. Last year, he finished second in the NBA scoring title behind Steph Curry at a little less than 31 points per game. He's a walking bucket. He's a threat to put the biscuit in the basket anywhere from the floor, and he is a high-level playmaker. But as you see, the points per game went down from about 31 to 23, and the shooting percentage went down from the field and beyond the arc as well. A little bit of a concern, but he has not been as injury-prone as Anthony Davis, and honestly, I don't hate the fit next to LeBron James. At some point, you can't ask LeBron at his age, considering that he's been in the league for, 2 decades now, to shoulder such a heavy offensive load. And Bradley Beal, when LeBron James is resting, when he's off the court, even when he's on the court, maybe playing down low in an off-ball role, can defer to Bradley Beal and say, Beal, go get a bucket. Go generate the offense as I just catch my breath here. And because these injuries continue to happen, LeBron hasn't been able to catch his breath this year. So here is that proposed trade. Player for player swap, Bradley Beal to LA, Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards. I would make it because Anthony Davis's value is still high here, and you have to capitalize on that value. He's 28 years old right now. Washington wants to get a bona fide superstar back for Bradley Beal. Anthony Davis can be your franchise building block around some of those other complementary pieces. So would you do this trade? Let me know before I hop on out of here. T for trade, P for pass. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy All-Star Weekend, and we'll talk to you soon here on the Lakers Report.